our routing, we'll probably take off in a westerly direction. Pete will, not me. I'll be looking after it. We'll be taking off in a westerly direction and head out towards the Turffontein racetrack. You know where that is. And then from there to Gold Reef City, and we'll try and turn around Gold Reef City so that you can clearly see it on the right hand side. And then the moment Pete rolls straight towards, more towards the Randburg area, you'll be able to see the Millennium Dome on the left, that beautiful soccer stadium on the left near Soweto. We'll actually overfly, more or less overfly what used to be the old Baragwanath Airport, if you know, if you've ever been there. And then we'll be crossing the ridge with Auckland Park and the city CBD on the right towards the North Gate Dome. And just short of the N1, we'll be turning right, JG Stradon Park. You'll see Skilt built on the right all the time, Santon. And then we'll head out towards the Baklu interchange, from where we'll be turning right and then heading back past Wanderers, overflying Observatory, and you'll see Ellis Park again on the right hand side before we come in. And that should take us about 20 minutes. And it's absolute glorious weather, as you can see. We couldn't have asked for smoother air.
If we come back and you have time available and you want to ask some questions, it's worth it. Corner Captain Flippy about crossing Africa with the DC-3 delivery flights to Europe. It's very, very interesting. And then corner Pete and talk to him about the DC-3 and the crossing from Africa to the United States.
Which happened 2 years ago.
Which happened 2 years ago. It's an incredible story, and you have to ask him about it because it was also very, very historic. And then just for the people that don't know yet, the Beach 18 that you see over there is the same Beach 18 that is used in the movie Amelia Earhart, or Amelia. Exactly the same one. The movie was shot here at Land Airport with Richard Gere and Hilary Swank. So at least you can say you're flying in an aircraft that was part of a Hollywood movie as well.
The livery is actually the orange.
The orange. That's the color scheme they wanted to
for Amelia.
But then now back to today, it's all about Insimbe Legacy Projects today, all about rhino conservation, all about saving the rhinos, and it's our biggest pleasure to do this project with Insimbe and with Carmela and Louise and Anton. And Carmela is just quickly going to, 2 minutes just to tell you something about Insimbe and the Rhino project and the anti-poaching, and all the proceeds of today's day is going for anti-poaching and the project.
So our journey with Springbok Air started in Captain Flippy, and he was very grateful when he flew up one weekend and he saw what we actually did. And we're based up in the very far northern Limpopo province, very close to the Botswana border, and we protect our rhinos there. And as you know, as a private rhino custodian, we don't get no government assistance. All our funds, we all self-funded. And we had to, unfortunately, make a decision a few years ago whether to either sell our rhinos or continue protecting them. And that's why there's such a big synergy between what we do and what Springbok does. And so we decided to take on to protect the rhinos and carry on. But it meant that we had to start a non-profit, which we did in 2018. So we're a non-profit registered with SARS, with a Section 18A. And we have to protect our own animals, and we have to raise funds. And this is one of the events that we do in order to raise funds. And 100% of the funds that you guys have paid today will go to paying our anti-poaching ranges at the end of the month. And unfortunately, that's what it's become. And that's it from Insimbe.
Okay, great, wonderful. They have a wonderful setup at Insimbe. Please go and look them up on the internet, on Instagram and Facebook, and on their website. It's awesome what they do, and they have regular weekends with different genres. They've got photography weekends, they've got special forces weekends, lovely stuff that they do at Insimbe. to help protect the rhinos over there. They've got the most beautiful rhino there that I've ever seen in my life, and that poor rhino needs 24-hour watch because of poachers, and it's really a wonderful cause. There is, they've got some nice little gifts and stuff here today as well that they sell if you want to take something or see or take a brochure, or please try and support them outside of our function today as well. It's really, really worth it.
So Carmela and Pietro, please tell me a little bit about this rhino conservation work you're doing.
We're situated in Limpopo, very close to the Botswana border, and we protect our own rhinos out there, and it's called Insimbe Legacy Projects. We're a non-profit. We were established in 2018.
Yes, I'm from Springbok Classic Air, and we started collaborating with Insimbe about 2 years ago, and we are in the preservation of aircraft, and it was a natural expansion of the preservation of aircraft to get involved into the conservation of animals and wildlife. And we got involved with Insimbe Legacy Projects with Carmela and them, and we are trying and helping them to do these functions and these pleasure flights to raise funds for the anti-poaching initiative that they have at Insimbe.
So Insimbe, please tell me, apart from the rhinos on the farm, what other wildlife species do you have on the farm?
We have a huge variety of wildlife. We have plains games, kudu, impala, eland, zebra. We also have pangolin. We've had a few sightings of pangolin, leopard, buffalo, zebra, giraffe. So we have, all your bushveld animals.
That's great. And tell me a little bit more about the initiative. How do you go about raising funds?
Well, it's been quite a challenge, especially since COVID. So we've had to find different options, and one of the initiatives we have is with Springbok Air, where we're doing Flying for Rhinos. Guests that take part, they fly on a magnificent Beach 18, and all the profits that we get for that pays for our anti-poaching. But we do other initiatives as well. We have a volunteer program, a working volunteer. You have to pay to cover your costs for the accommodation and the food, but then you actually work with our rhino behaviorists, and you follow around, you feed the rhinos, so you in contact every single day with the rhinos. We also have another, it's an amazing event experience. It's called Adventure with the Cause. And this basically takes place over full moon, where we bring guests over to see what it feels like to be in the feet of, on the ground with the anti-poaching rangers. We do our night patrol. Normally it's under a beautiful full moon. It's actually an amazing experience. Patrols, we teach people survival, basic survival skills, and it's a lovely weekend because you learn a lot. There's a lot of skills transfer. You get time to spend with the rhinos, and you're actually making a difference. You're actually protecting those animals. So there are many non-profit companies that raise funds for rhinos, but a lot of the funds go to administration, advertising, and to a lot of different expenses. With Insimbe Legacy Projects, 100% of the funds that we raise goes directly to protecting our rhinos, whether it's paying for the anti-poaching guys or buying equipment or airtime for our cameras, but 100% of those funds goes towards rhino conservation.
Gee, that's wonderful. And Pietro, have you been up to the farm and have you experienced the encounter with the rhinos?
Unfortunately not. We were invited for a weekend. The weekend we went to check out the runway there as well, because we want to do the next initiative is we want to use our Beechcraft 18 and fly passengers from Rand Airport for a weekend safari or for a weekend experience on the farm. So we've done one flight where we went to check out the runway, but we haven't been back. We've been invited, but unfortunately we had to cancel because of a funeral. But we have just discussed it, myself and Carmela, and we're getting a group of powerful women together to go and do a conservation weekend at Insimbe for the Rhino Fund and for conservation.
I thank you both very much for providing us this information.
Thank you.
Thank you.